Hi, this is Woody from Obadiah. We're looking at the Esse Ironheart, the Draw Collar. Essentially what this unit does is electric, has a cord, plugs in, there's coils inside of here. It's a smooth surface inside, there's nothing, it's just a straight pipe. It's like a heating element on an electric heater. You gets, the heating elements glow red hot. Same thing around here, there's a winding and it gets red hot and creates a lot of heat, which creates draft. I've installed this on the Esse Ironheart. One of the things I've noticed about the stove is getting a draft. My chimney system I have here it's a DVL Simpson double wall pipe, and it runs all the way up. See if I can do this without causing too much havoc. There's a 45, goes up through a ceiling support box and on up through the roof. It transitions to Class A. I have two 45s for my offset. The reason I did that is so my fan would clear. I have a ceiling fan up there. Great way to move air above a cook stove, any kind of stove. It's open above. So that's how this alcove works. Is the fact that the heat is able to get out from above, and it's assisted by a fan. So anyhow, that's the chimney that we have. We have good chimney, good draft, but it's cold outside up here in Montana. I want to just show you a prime example. The chimney's cold. This is all cold. It's been off. We've changed the gaskets. We'll light this little piece of wood up here. Hopefully you'll be able to see if we got a draft going up the chimney or if it's blowing in. See? I don't know if you can see that, but there's quite a bit of draft. When I stick that in, it's blowing against it, which means there's cold air coming inside. There's no draft in that chimney. There's air moving around, but it's coming down. If I put my hand here, I can feel a whole lot of cold air right in here coming in. So there's a box here. This is the damper assembly for the Esse. Flips up. This is a cast iron stove. Takes a lot of heat and a lot of energy into the cooktop to get it hot enough. So what I've noticed is the stove don't draft real well if it's been out for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the draw collar. We're going to come back and I'm going to show you guys exactly what the benefit is of having a draw collar. If you have a cook stove and you don't use it all the time, your chimney gets cold, you don't have a draft. I don't know if you can hear that buzzing. Those are those electrical elements inside the draw collar heating up. So this is going to heat up and it's going to start creating draft. And instead of feeling cold air coming in, I'm going to feel warm air going up. And what draft is essentially vacuum. As the air goes up, it creates a vacuum behind it, the mass moving up the chimney, the volume, just like a hose siphoning water out of a tank. Same idea. Even though it's going up and down, it's pulling it up because of the vacuum that's behind it. So essentially draft is vacuum. It's created through heat going up the pipe, and as it goes up, it creates a vacuum behind it and it wants to fill in with something. So it fills it in with the smoke coming out of the stove. So that's essentially how a chimney works. It's very important that your chimney's clean. You want to keep your chimney going up through the building. Keep it as much inside as I've got here. That makes for a warmer chimney. A warmer chimney will burn hotter. A hotter chimney will stay cleaner. Cleaner chimneys don't build creosote nearly as much, and that means they're safer. A chimney fire is not a desirable thing. It'll sound like a freight train. It'll be like a rocket engine on the top of your roof coming out of the top of the pipe. So if you have a lot of creosote. That's why you want to have good pipe. I'm running DVL double wall chimney, which is air cooled. There's air coming in underneath. There's little holes that control how much air goes through, so it goes all the way up and ventilates out the top. It doesn't move it through there very fast, but it moves through there enough to keep the chimney from getting super hot. And if there's ever a chimney fire, that won't glow red hot. If it's single wall pipe, this will get cherry red. With double wall pipe, it'll get hot, it'll burn the paint off, but it won't turn cherry red. It has a stainless steel inner liner. It makes it a lifetime pipe. This is a telescopic liner chimney, so you have a chimney adapter, or a stovetop adapter, and then there's a upper part that slides above, and that's a telescopic pipe. It makes everything much easier to assemble. We sell chimney pipe. You buy a stove from us, we can hook you up with your pipe. Very simple. Just send me a picture of what you're trying to do, and I can design everything for you. What I want to do is just show you the draw collar I showed you a minute ago. We had cold air coming in. I can feel the draft now. I'm going to light this piece of wood off, and hopefully you'll be able to see the way that the flame draws in. Now it's sucking into the, means we got good draft. So, I don't know if you can see, but it's sucking the smoke right in. And what I'll do is real quickly just take a reading. I mean, the top of the stove right now is 70 degrees, about 67, around 72. The draw collar is about 150, it's reading in at about 151 right there. Up near the collar, it's about almost 165 around there. So that's what's creating the draft, is the heat. A few minutes ago we had cold air coming down. If I'd have lit the stove, I'd have smoke, coming into the house. So the draw collar itself is very good at creating draft. Next I'm going to light the fire. I'm going to show you how easy it's going to be to simply get this stove to light and light well. Now I used to take my torch and I used to have to hold the torch. I would light it, create my draft. And I used to stick it in here to heat up the chimney. So if you don't have a draw collar, that's what you do. Stick it down in here. Heat this area up, and you'll create enough hot air so you'll break the bubble and the draft will start pulling. I don't know if you can see the fire down there, but it's pulling real nice. So when I light an Esse, usually what I do, you want to put your plate back on your chimney. It's a nice thing about the Esse, it has this cast iron little door here to create a draft, and I can tell you when you have good draft. With the Esse, the major thing that I have found is it's a cast iron stove. Once again, it takes a while for it to heat up, so it's kind of hard to get a good draft going on it when it's cold. Now, what I'll generally do is shut my door, make sure all my controls are open, and we're going to pull the air in off of the bottom part with the ash door open. Another trick to get draft is if you have a window nearby, like I have right here, reach over and crack your window so that you have air coming in. If you don't have a window, crack a door or crack something, let some air in, and that helps the draft get going. A lot of houses these days are very tight. The windows sealed very well, the doors sealed well, so you don't have a lot of air exchange in a home. Newer homes, this place is really tight. I built it, and so I wanted as high R value as I could get it and make it as tight as I could get it. So anyhow, heats very well. This Esse will run you right out of here. We're about 600 square feet in here with a loft. So anyhow, there you go. You can see the draw collar. It's drawing nicely. There's no smoke whatsoever backing up. We are going to find out now how changing out the gaskets has made a difference. And one of the things I had noticed was my eyes were burning when I was in the cabin with the stove burning. So now on the Esse, one of the things I want to show you real quick, when you're running your stove, pull your lever out, and then you have two controls. You have the air wash system up here. You want to slide it to the left, that opens it. Down below is where the combustion air goes in, towards the bottom of the stove. And you can run the stove either way. If your glass is starting to get smoked up, you would want to open this upper damper and close your lower damper. That brings fresh air over the glass, and that's what keeps your glass clean. So, but when you're running the stove and you don't, you don't want the oven on, pull it out. And what that does is it gives a direct path. There is a rod here, and it has a plate on the end of it, and it slides back and forth, and there's a hole in the very end of the stove right in this corner. And what it does is it provides a direct path from the top of the combustion chamber into the chimney. When you push it in, you block that off, you force the heat under the hob over to the oven side. So you want to run it with the lever pulled out. There's also a damper inside your top of your stove right here. You flip it closed when you want to run your stove and get the most heat out of it. When you first light your stove, you want to run it with your damper open to allow the smoke to go up the chimney. Once the stove is in full combustion, say about an hour after it's running and you've got a good fire, you would, of course, after about 10 minutes, you're going to want to shut your ash door, which is down here. If you walk away and you leave your stove running with that ash door open, you will overfire your stove. And if you overfire your stove, you can do a lot of damage. There's a steel plate in the top of the stove. It looks like, and it's got a hole in it. And this used to be one complete steel, very thick plate. And as you can see, it has gotten very, 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 very hot. So it'll make it like a blast furnace if you allow that door to remain open for any length of time. If you were to leave the door open, go to work, you will come home and your baffle will look like that. The baffle is engineered to save the stove. That is the baffle that came out of the stove. The stove still works well. It's a testimony to the durability of the Esse cooker. It is a very durable stove. I'm very impressed with it and how it burns and the amount of heat it puts out. So the draw collar works great. The stove seems to be working good, and this is how I burn it. So, Woody from Obadiah saying have a wonderful evening.